This is the Waves Electric 88, of course based on the famous Rhodes Mark I 88 key electric piano. Alright, so let's go ahead and check this out. Now if you are familiar with a lot of the Waves electric pianos, they are laid out in a very similar way. So first up, there are two versions of the library, the sample library that's included. There's the HD version, which of course is going to give you the best sound, the high definition version, but there's also a standard definition version. So if you happen to be running, low on resources, or you don't even install the HD version, for example, you can always call up the SD version or the HD version just by clicking right here and select the library that you want. All right, up here we have the overall tune of the piano. Mute the drums and bass. Just need to tune things, drag it, double click, put in whatever you want. Right here, we have a effects section. Turn all your effects off or all of your effects on right there. Turn them all off, turn them all on, turn them off or on individually. These buttons here. So what do we have? We have a tremolo. On this side, we can sync to our DAW tempo. Over here, we can freely set it. Then we have a depth control. Basically, how apparent do you want it to be? We can sync it to our DAW. Pull that depth down, just turn it off. Have an autopan. Same thing, sync on this side, freely select on this side. Depth. Phaser. Same thing, sync or freely select. Depth control. Mix control here. Slower there is good. Not as much depth. Turn it off for now. We have a chorus. Dial in the depth. Really opens up, spreads open. And a reverb. Your mix, your pre-delay, time, and the dampening. Pretty simple stuff. How long you want that reverb, the time there. Overall mix of that. Way too much, right? Way too long on that time. And of course, turn each of these on and off however you want. Turn these back on. There we go. Sounds great. And over here we have our velocity curve setting. So if I have this down here, the velocity that's hitting the piano will be softer. Over here, it's going to be harder. Now this, of course, is going to work for MIDI loops that you might have in your DAW, or even if you're playing the piano, you're playing your MIDI keyboard. So way down here, if I press at a constant velocity, it's kind of soft. Up here, same velocity, it's hard, okay? So over here, if I want a really hard velocity, I really have to hit that keyboard. Whereas over here, I barely have to touch it, and I have a nice hard velocity there. So set that up depending on your keyboard, your playing style, or the MIDI that happens to be in your DAW. If I want to soften that up, I can just take it down here, right? Put it about there. Now your format, you can think of your format kind of as brighter or darker. So if I want this darker overall, take it down here. If I want it brighter overall, pull it over here. So your format, pulling this up, can actually help your piano come out of the mix a bit, especially once we combine that with like bass and drums here. Pop that out. It's back on mute. Then we have our main, our tines, our key up, and our mechanical sounds here in the mix section. So the main is the main sound of the piano. So the overall volume of that. Then you have your tines, which goes really well with the main piano sound. Of course, dial that in or out. Then you have key up sounds. So key up sounds there. And mechanical sounds. In fact, you don't even have to have the main up. You can just use, say, your mechanical sounds and your key up sounds. Maybe just the tines there. Kind of a cool effect, right? Bring your main in. Turn those down. Then we have compression built in. More compressed. Whatever you prefer. Then you have your amp section. Pop that on. And the drive and the microphone type. So you can really overdrive that if you want. Turn the effects off for now. You get a lot of different sounds from this one piano. Then you have your basic tone stack here, pretty simple to figure out. Bass, your mid, your treble. Just set it up to taste, of course. And the overall volume and a limiter as well. So if I have my limiter off, turn this up, it's gonna get loud. Put that limiter, there we go. All right, so that is all of your controls basically there. You also have a velocity check right here. So essentially what this is for is if you're changing presets and there's a certain velocity setting that preset has, do you want the velocity setting to change along with the preset or not? If you have your velocity curve set where you want it, you can just uncheck that and then go through your presets. Of course, use your arrow keys here to go through your presets as well. And you can change the GUI size right there. All right, so that is all of the controls here. Let's mess around with this a little bit now. Effects back on, there we go. The low one really comes through with that bass. We go through creative presets here. Again, you can get some creative sounds just by using your mechanical noises, those tines as well. All right, let me set this up again here. Pull up that chorus. Very good. There we go. Pretty quick to set up once you know what you're doing, of course. There we go. All right, so that is the Waves Electric 88. If you want a recreation of the classic Rhodes Mark I, you can check out this plugin, and if you want to pick it up for yourself, head right over here to waves.com. Of course, the link will be in the description below. You can pick it up on its own, or you can also get it as a part of these bundles as well. All right, so that is the Waves Electric 88.